podcast. All right, guys, I'm just looking over at Chris, and this whole new setup that we have at the apartment is just different. I didn't realize that he was gonna be like hunched over for a little second while he was working the media, whatever. But yeah, so we are still trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Eventually, I am gonna create another podcast room. But right now, this is what we're doing. We're doing it at the apartment, and we're gonna do the best we can here. So hopefully, I honestly didn't love the clips last week. I feel like everything was really, really dark, and I just when the camera is dark and everything's dark. If you notice, guys, camera angles and lighting is everything when it comes to pictures. Okay, these girls that you see on social media that. You're like, oh my God, they took that picture with their phone with no extra lighting and they look perfect. No. It takes a lot of lighting and good angles to get a perfect picture. So last week with the video, I was like, oh my God, I look older. I was like, what the hell? And then I just started going in like a downhill spiral where I was like, oh my God, I look old. Oh my God, I need more facials. Oh my God, I need more Botox. And then I was reminded I'll be 30 next year. So I was like, oh my God, I need to take better care of my skincare. Oh man, the joys of being a woman and aging, man. I still love being a woman, but I am wanting to start doing more facials and stuff because that is something that I lack on, and I really want to make sure, for preventative reasons that I'm taking care of my skin and I, help my skin as much as I can when it comes to wrinkles and stuff. So, all right, before we get into today's little segment, let me give you guys an intro about what's been going on. So we had Ismael and Gabby come over from San Antonio, and we had a little birthday dinner with them on Saturday. He turned 30 this year. All our friends are turning 30. Everyone's like 30. And yeah, we went out, and then on Sunday was Rachel's birthday. She actually turned 25, so it was like we have a big gap with her and us. And we did one of those like pedal buses, and you just like drink on the pedal bus, and then you stop at different bars, and that was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. That thankfully it's not super cold here in Houston yet, so it was chilly but not too chilly. It was like perfect weather. It was a little like gloomy though, but other than that, it was really good. We had a really, really, really good time. And so that's happened this last weekend. And, just adjusting to the new place is getting better. I will say that I love it here, but the adjustment to my day-to-day schedule is still difficult for me to grasp. I think with the house, I had a set routine. I would go to either my spin class, and when I stopped going to spin, I was going to Lifetime. That was like 6 minutes down the road for me. And then I would go in the morning, come home, have my breakfast, and I feel like I fell into my routine. Here, it's been a little bit harder to fall in a routine. I will say that I haven't done any kind of physical activity first thing in the morning since I moved here, and I think that could be it. I've just been waking up at 7:38 and getting straight into reading or doing work, and yeah, I still feel like I need to find my groove here, right? Because I haven't really tried out a lot of gyms. And I will say that because of that, I've been depending a lot on Chris on this new move, and everything we do and everywhere we go, he drives, and I've been going with him. So I have been getting a little bit of separation anxiety, a lot more than I normally get. Even last week, I had to really push myself out of my comfort zone. I typically, when we were living in Sugarland, I would go to the mall by myself, the mall there, the First Colony Mall by myself. I would go to Sephora by myself. I would go to Ulta. I would go to Home Goods and just do my thing. Whereas here, I haven't yet. I feel like it's hard for me to do that. And even though I love to do that, I choose not to. And last week, I was I really want to do Home Goods, but if you don't want to come with me, I don't want to go. And he was like, you need to I love that you depend on me, but you need to do your own thing. And I'm like, okay. So I actually didn't want to go, but he dropped me off, and I was there at Home Goods by myself, but I was paranoid the whole time. I feel like I've gone to these points in the past, and I don't like it because I do get a little bit more freaked out than I need to be. I get a little bit more paranoid, and I just need to relax, but it just takes a little bit of an effort from my part, and a little bit of me purposely getting out of my comfort zone. Yesterday was the first day that I actually went and drove by myself. I had my hair appointment all the way in Sugarland, so I drove there, and then had a coffee, went and got a coffee, and everything in me was no, go straight home, go straight back home. But I was listen, you're not on a time crunch. Just if you want coffee, go get some coffee. And then I came home and did some work. But yeah, that's a little bit of an update as far as the apartment goes and me finding my routine, guys. It's been really hard. I'm not going to lie. It's been hard. It's been an adjustment, but I'm trying. And that'll lead me to today's topic too. But another intro, little thing that we've been doing. We've been watching Yellowstone. My God, I love that show so much. I did not think I was going to love this show as much as I do. And I love it so much. Okay. I just love the show. I love John Dutton. Like, I feel like he is like a sexy old man. Like, even though he's not sexy, but like his charisma and like everything I really like about it, like him in the show. And the girl, his daughter, is just like a fucking savage, like just savagery to the max, where you're like, I'm like, man, that girl must have gone through some, she does go through some crazy trauma to be that way. And then Rip is just like a sweetheart, and he's just, I like his character. But I love the show so much. We're on season 3, right, baby? I think we're in season 3. And yeah, it's good. I really like it. There's 5 seasons, and now I can understand why people rave about this show, because it's really good. We were sick. When we were sick, we started it and we kind of like binge watched it. Now we're back on a routine. So we don't really like, this is why I don't like to get into shows, because I don't really have enough time to get into shows. I don't like to just waste hours and hours watching a series, but we'll watch at least an episode a day, or at most an episode a day right before bed. And yeah, it's been good. And then on the weekends, that's when we splurge. When we don't have really much to do, we'll watch a few episodes, but highly, highly recommend Yellowstone. And then for books, Chris is reading Never Split the Difference, correct? That's the book. He is almost done with it, actually. It's negotiating as if your life depends on it. And he said that he didn't really recommend it as much. It's more of a sales kind of how to get people to compromise and do what you want versus what they want kind of thing when it comes to sales and if you want to buy something. So I'm not reading that one, but he just bought me this one. The Diary of a CEO, The 33 Laws of Business and Life by Stephen Bartlett. And I barely just started it. I'm like page 30. I started it yesterday, and I already like it. I was listening to the audiobook of, How to Win Friends and Influence People, the modern version. There's a new one, the modern one, through Audible. So I was listening to that one. But the thing with me and listening, guys, and reading these type of books, it's like I have to really be in the right mindset, because Chris can like read books and grasp it and not have to write anything down. If I'm reading these kind of books, I love to take notes. I love to like write everything I learned. And so I've been doing that. Like if I'm going to read something like this, I really want to sit down and grasp the information as much as possible. And, everyone speaks about it. If you learn something and you can't teach it back to someone, then you didn't really learn it at all. So, and that's something that he states too. Like the most important thing about learning something is being able to teach it, and being able to teach it the simplest way possible. All these people that use these big words and all this stuff typically mean that they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. So, sometimes I used to think, oh my God, if I don't use these in super intelligent words, or if I don't expand on this topic, then I didn't really grasp it. But it's actually the opposite. You're supposed to take a subject or something that you learn about and try to teach it. Expect to teach it to like a preschooler and simplify it as much as possible. And that means that you grasp the concept. So I've really been enjoying this book. And like I said, I just started it, but it's been something that I've been really focusing on, and I'm going to focus on next year, is obviously my self-growth when it comes to learning and being a better boss and being a better leader. I've talked about it before. So I like that book. So let's get into today's topic, because that has a little bit about what I'm going to talk about today too. But the first thing I want to say, guys, is it goes back to like me fitting into this apartment life. I love it. I love it so much. But I will say that I have been losing a little bit of motivation these last few weeks. And I hate to use the word motivation. I wish there was like a fucking, cup of motivation you could take every day, but it doesn't work that way, right? So I have been like, quote unquote unmotivated this last few weeks, which is really rare because I do have my vision board. I like know what my goals are, but I don't know if it's just like the chaos of everything that's going on right now with the holidays, us moving, the house, the warehouse, the project that we're launching. Thank you guys also if you guys followed Chris and know about it, but I'll talk about it very soon. But yeah, just all those things I feel like have kind of overwhelmed me. And when I feel like extremely overwhelmed and I don't have like an actual planned out plan, I feel like I just can't do anything. I feel unmotivated. I feel like I can't, just I don't feel like myself. And I do feel like recently I haven't felt like myself. And Chris kind of brought it to my attention too a few days ago. He's like, yeah, I feel like I'm not feeling the same Jasmine that I usually feel. Like, are you okay? Like, are you struggling mentally? And I don't think that I'm struggling mentally. I just think that all these things at once has just like piled up on me. And it's like, okay, 2 weeks to the end of the year. And you kind of get into this like not lazy mentality, but you're just kind of like, in this weird funk. And I've heard it from a lot of people. I've seen it a lot on social media with other influencers too, which kind of makes me happy to see that other people are struggling. And that's why I'm sharing it with you guys, because I don't want you to think that you're alone. And also just with the holidays being around, like there's like, I feel like a lot of us, even more so people who have just like a 9 to 5 job, you guys go to work and then all you guys are freaking out about is like holiday planning, getting gifts for your family, for your kids. And that's really overwhelming, guys. Trying to do all that, the spending, the everything, plus on top of your everyday task, it can be very overwhelming and it can be a lot. And so that's kind of how I felt. And I think that, me not having my routine has also like affected that too. So like this is me coming on here and saying like, yes, we're not going to have motivation all the time, right? Motivation doesn't exist, but this is why discipline is so important. I've talked about it time and time again. And even though I don't feel like the most disciplined self of the most disciplined version of myself right now, I do feel like I'm getting there and I'm like making the effort. So like, for example, like reading, doing things, like I sat down and like, watched a ton of videos on social media content, on how to plan content ahead of time, all these things that are going to make me a better content creator and a better leader. And that's what I'm doing. I'm investing my time in that, making sure like, okay, even though I don't feel as motivated in the gym right now, or I don't have a steady plan like physically right now, at least I can stick to something that's going to make me feel good. It's going to keep me on the right path, which is reading books that are going to allow me to invest in myself, and looking at videos that are going to make me a better content creator. So I just really wanted to talk about motivation right now in the last few weeks, because I know we sometimes give ourselves a really, really hard time, and it can be really hard during the holidays to feel like ourselves and feel like, we're on the right track, and oh my God, like I want to make sure like this pressure to end the year great is there, and I want everyone to finish off the year great, and I want you to look back. And I promise you, if you look back at this year, I'm sure you've seen a lot of growth. And I think also like being excited for 2024, I'm like just like counting down the days too. Like I'm so excited for 2024. We have a lot of things planned, and I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish individually and as a couple, and for everyone around me. So like it's been really great seeing all my friends around me like crushing their goals, making changes that they need to make in order to make 2024 the best year yet. And I'm just really, really excited, especially with this new project we have. It's not easy, and by all means, like there's a lot of pressure on it. There's a lot of sacrifices that we've had to make that I will share the whole journey with you guys when I'm able to, which is very soon. But I want to be as authentic and real with you guys with this journey, because I'm learning just as much like as I'm going through this, and Chris is learning, and it's been really great to have like the support system next to me, because it's scary doing it all alone, but having a support system is great. And we've talked about it, you can't accomplish anything alone. You need a good support system. You need to ask yourself if the people you're surrounding yourself with are making you better. And we've had to make a lot of sacrifices. We're not going to end up going to visit family this year for Christmas, so it's just going to be me and Chris. And although that makes me sad, because I miss my family a lot and I want to see Kylie and I want to just like be around my family during the holidays, I know that I'm making the sacrifice for the better. I know that it's because I'm really putting my foot down and focusing on what I need to focus right now to make sure we end the year strong, to make sure we start this company the right way. And thankfully, all our family understands, and they've been so understanding and so patient, and just so more than anything, so understanding with this process, because they're learning as much as we're learning, like as they see our struggles and stuff. And I know they want to help, and other people want to help, but it's like, we have to go through this journey. And even though we don't have to go through it alone, we do have to take major of the hit and the responsibility and the stress that comes with it. But, it's a good thing to have the stress. It's a good thing to be in this place. And something I was thinking about yesterday is like, I would rather 100 times be uncomfortable, be stressed, than stay complacent. And the fear of being complacent scares me more than the fear of failure, guys. And that is one of the, I honestly love that. I love that I have more fear on being complacent than I do on failing. I love that. Even though, yes, like there's so many, and someone said it yesterday, like, what if this doesn't work out? And I'm like, don't even, like, I don't want to hear that. Like, we're not going to hear that, because I am literally putting all my eggs in this basket, and I'm going to make it work regardless of what I have to do. I'm going to make it work. And, if it doesn't, then it's because God in the universe has a different purpose for me. But I 100% believe that if I'm here, if we've gotten this far, after all the troubles we've gone through, the tribulations, the hard stuff that we've gone through, it's for a reason. And I am 100%, you guys know that I trust my gut, and my gut from the very beginning was like, this is like the best move. And of course, fear comes into your mind and all these things. And especially when people like overwhelm you with, make sure you're doing this right, make sure you're doing this right, and make sure you don't do this and make this mistake and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, listen, if I make those mistakes, it's because I needed to make those mistakes. But I'm learning as I go, and I'm really excited. And I encourage you all to get out of your comfort zone and really think about how far you've come this year with 2023, and going into 2024. Maybe this is the time that you leap into this new career, new hobby, new something that you want to do, and let that fear go. I mean, even me, like, I've been really trying to take a step back and really think about, okay, what really scares me? Like, an actual, like, business doesn't really scare me. Yes, it's scary, but it's a different, but like, what am I scared of, and what can I conquer? How can I overcome those fears? And like, just simple things. Like for me, for instance, we went to shoot guns on Saturday. We went to a shooting range, and I was terrified. And honestly, I'm a horrible shooter, and I don't know. I just didn't grow up with guns, and I wish I did, because I wish I was more comfortable around them, but I'm not. But that's something that I fear, and I like, there's no reason to fear that, and that's something that I want to overcome. I want to overcome that fear. That doesn't mean that I want to like carry a gun out and feel 100% confident, like, with gun. But I just want to make sure that I don't have that fear anymore, that if I see a gun, I don't, instantly freak out or instantly shake or whatever. I want to feel more confident. I want to feel more comfortable. And in order to feel more comfortable and confident, you have to practice it. You have to get out of your comfort zone and throw yourself into whatever scares you so you can get better. And so that is, something I'm working on. But I really wanted to kind of just talk about, before we end the year, there's not really big topics that I want to talk about, because I feel like everyone's just talking about the same thing, making New Year resolutions, all these things. But I wanted to really highlight the fact that not everyone has it together right now at the end of the year. And just because you don't have it together doesn't mean that your life is falling apart or you didn't accomplish amazing things over the last 11 months. It just means that, we're getting to the end of the year, and it just happens. The weather change. There's just so many different factors. So give yourself some grace, but also make sure that you're still doing things. Make sure that you're still showing up for yourself. I may not be showing up for myself as a morning routine, like going for a morning run or like killing myself in the gym first thing in the morning, but I am showing up with myself with my work. I am showing up with myself with, learning and growth. So that makes me happy. And there are things that I need to work on, but I make sure that I acknowledge. I don't let myself fall into this victim mentality or fall into the making excuses. I realize, like, I could do a better job. Let me see how tomorrow I can do a better job. Maybe, like, for instance, I haven't been doing really great at my water. The first thing I did this morning was like fill up my water and tell myself, hey, I need you to drink 3 of these today, because you only drank half of one yesterday. So just like simple things like that. It's just taking care of yourself. And I know, like I said, right now towards the end of the year, it's hard, but I encourage you to still show up for yourself, do things that are going to, make you happy. And right now with the holidays, the last thing you want to do is compare yourself with what anyone else is doing, what anyone else has, and just be grateful, show gratitude for what you have. And, if there's something you want to go get in 2024, go get it. But comparing yourself and the lack of what you have is not the way to go. So just wanted to kind of cover that topic today. Again, we'll be in a new setup very, very, very soon, but I didn't want to just end the podcast and not have, not talk to you guys about what I'm struggling with. But what I'm most excited about is just sharing the journey of this new project with you guys and our daily struggles and everything we're going through. And that way, you guys can feel like you guys are part of the process with us and know that not everything is easy and we don't know anything, like we don't know everything. And sometimes we let our egos get to us and, oh, we already know that. Like, we don't need to learn more, but there's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. So if you've been wanting to read a book, listen to your intuition, whatever it's telling you to do at that moment. If you've been wanting to read a book, but that little voice inside your head's like, no, girl, you don't need that. Most likely you do. So pick up that book, listen to the podcast, whatever your intuition is telling you to do, message that friend, meet up with whoever you need, listen to that intuition. So anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Make sure you guys share it because that's the way that we grow. Share it on your platform, share it with your friends, share it with your mama, share it with whoever you want to share it with, especially this episode if it resonated with you. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.